Yasha'Allah. I want to start off giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers to the four corners of the earth, teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And I just want to do this brief lesson when, as I was reading Acts the 24th chapter, I came across how they said Paul was stirring up, basically stirring up all the Jews throughout the world. And when you go into that world actually means Oikoumene, meaning places around the world, because Paul was traveling different places around the world to the scattered Israelites, the Israelite foreigners, if you will, the Gentiles that are grafted back in and that are woke up through Paul's teaching, back through the spirit of Yahushai, or through Yahushai, but by faith. Okay? Now, let's actually deal with that scripture of Acts 24th chapter. Now, this is after Paul was delivered, after the Jews sought to kill him, and he was delivered out of the area he was in and delivered to Caesarea and put into Herod's judgment hall. But let's get to the point. Acts 24 verse 5, it says, "For we have found this man a pestilent, a fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world." Because what? Paul was teaching all the Israelites, the Jews, throughout the world. Okay? Look at that word world. In the Greek is Oikoumene. Okay? And he says the inhabited earth, the portion of the earth inhabited by the Greeks, which are the Israelites, and distinction from the land of the barbarians, the Roman Empire, all the subjects of the empire, the whole inhabited earth, the world, the inhabitants of the earth, men, the universe, and the world. Now I'm about to show you what it's mentioned in world, as you see, as Paul was traveling around the world, to his brethren, his fellow Israelites. That was his mission, to wake up the Gentiles, the Israelite foreigners. That's why you see you have books like to the Romans, to the Corinthians, right? The Thessalonians, the Ephesians, the Colossians, the Philippians, the Galatians. But there's more places that he traveled, as you see on this list. Because he was traveling out throughout the world. Right? Let's go back into it. It says, "For we have found this man a pestilent." Now let's look at the word pestilent, meaning a pest, right? It says a pestilent, a fellow pest, a plague. And somebody that's, pest. A pest is like, someone that bothers you. It says fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Jews. When you look up the word sedition, is insurrection. Stirring things up. Someone that's stirring things up, right? So you see, a standing station, a state, insurrection, a strife, an insurrection. A dissension, an uproar, an uprising. See, because they're saying Paul was stirring things up by what? Teaching the Israelite foreigners who, the Jews, the ones that are circumcision, that kept the law, statutes, and commandments, and the high holy days and the customs, as he was bringing the Israelite foreigners, which they looked at as Gentiles, the ones that are uncircumcision, into the temple. It says, "And a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the section of the Nazarenes." So let's go on back into show you the world he was traveling to, which is still, see, all throughout the world he was traveling to, Oikoumene. But within that, the world of Israel, because he was traveling only to the Israelites. Furthermore, I have this, right, another page, just to show you the cities that Paul visited, right? You see it. Amphipolis, and it gives you the scripture: Damascus, Philippi, Antioch, Derbe, Ptolemais, Antioch, which is Syria, Ephesus, Tolia, Antipartis, Crete, Rhegium, Apollonia, Iconium, Rome, Pinion Way, Jerusalem, Cyprus, Epiphorum, Lystra, Seleucia, Arabia, Malta, Sidon, Assus, Milos, Spain, Athens, and so forth and so on, alright? And as you can see the scriptures at the bottom showing you where Paul traveled to. You know? Hey, and if you want to find this, you can find this website on BibleStudy.org. Okay, but this is just the point of showing you that this here is the world that they were talking about, that Paul was traveling to, okay? This is the world that is speaking of in Acts 24 verse 4. I'll start at 5. It says, "For we have found this man a pestilent fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world." Okay? As I was just showing you, and a ringleader of the section of the Nazarenes, okay? So that's what it's speaking of. That's Oikoumene for you New Testament Christians. And I just gave you the map that shows you the world who Paul was